set up, and it must be my work phone thing. Whatever. Do you really need to see my face?
Yes.
No, we're good.
That's the other reason I'm here, Tony. It's the only reason I'm here.
All right, before we start, everyone can hear each other?
Yes.
Excellent. That's step one. Because I have to have the rundown. Okay, I'm going to minimize this. See, the thing about this is, actually, you know what? I can probably pull the rundown up on my phone, so forget that. We want to use this to make suggestions to each other as we go, like in the chat function, to say, hey, I have a point, or I'm not ready, or whatever, or do we want to use BBM?
Potentially a good idea, but let me show you how I type.
Bad idea. Terrible fucking idea.
Pretty loud.
Thumbs down.
All right, so BBM it is then. All right. One of the reasons I asked.
Already Stampede Edition. Duncan's writing an essay.
That used to happen when I was on Skype calls because I would be multitasking, talking to my friend, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." Okay, so we'll use BBM. Anyone have any questions about anything before we start?
Why is this all being recorded on YouTube? And we should be careful of everything we.
Right. So that's how it works. That's step one. Step two, this is a private link, so nobody has it unless they have the URL. And three, it's going to be completely unlisted once this is done anyway. That's how I get the audio off.
Gotcha.
Now, Marcus.
Kristen.
Sorry. You cut in and out a little bit on me, but everything sounds good on your end?
I have no idea who's going to be the cutty and the cutter. It's one of those, we'll just find out how it comes out in the wash. If everybody has a problem hearing, like, say, we all think that, say, Tony's breaking up, make a note of that and say, say it again. So this could be a shit show, this could be hilarious, and this could be a nightmare, but we're going to find out. We're going to grow together.
We're going to grow together. This is a learning experience.
Now, Tony.
Yes?
Fall back into my arms. This is called a trust exercise.
What?
Okay, so we missed.
Did you just drop, Tony?
All right, let me pull up the rundown on my phone then, so that I can, read things and run things.
Can people still hear me and everything whilst I am looking at a Word document?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hooray!
Yeah.
Where is mine?
You could arguably reduce the size of the window, so it's like a fraction of the screen. Nothing, like it's still there. It's still
that's
still video still goes on.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Hold on. This over here.
Where is? There it is. Can I open this here without having to have it open? Aha! All right, good. So I can close that here. I will need to go to that when I do the Spanish thing and also the Portuguese thing. So where's that email from Duncan?
Yeah, who's doing the various?
I could do a ridiculous Portuguese.
Kristen has already volunteered for Portuguese. You should have been.
Oh well, that's that then.
On BBM earlier.
What's happening?
You can do the English translation if you want.
Sure.
Tata Martino.
What Tony wants to do? Tony, you want to do the Portuguese one?
I didn't know if someone had to. I said I could take a crack at it. That's all.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy to. It's just like, sounds like Spanish if you're deaf.
Or lazy.
Fresh.
Do you want to do it then? And I'll just do the Tata one?
Sure.
All right. Duncan, did you? Oh, yeah, you sent it. You sent both, didn't you? Or do I have the Portuguese one?
I think they should both be in the email that I sent.
That's Pedro Santos, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Yes.
All right, so
yes.
Tony's doing Portuguese. I guess I'll do the Spanish bit. Who's doing the translations?
I'll do the translation since that's kind of my thing.
Mark's not doing anything in this one. Jesus.
Nope.
No. lazy.
You're right. I am ducking quote responsibility this week. You are absolutely correct.
I can get rid of that.
Shall we?
All I would say, Kristen, is when you throw to questions to use our names a lot, I guess.
Yeah, I think in this instance, more than any other, I know our shtick is talking over each other, but
yeah, no, it'll sound crappy. Yeah,
try to back off it a little bit tonight. Yeah, I guess I'll use.
I agree with what Kristen's saying right now.
Me
Thanks,
too.
that's really good of you. You're hilarious. Okay. Should we give this a try?
Comedy.
Oh, this is going to be interesting.
These outtakes are going to be so shit.
Fun.
I'm so concerned.
If there was an actual moon landing, it would have sounded like this.
Wow, it's been months since you brought that up.
All right, now stand closer to the flagpole. We need to get you in the shot.
The anniversary's really like getting you going, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, this is uncomfortable.
All right, is everybody ready to go?
I think so.
One last thing.
Yep.
In order of answering questions, should we do our usual our usual clockwise, Duncan, me, Mark kind of thing as a loose basis?
Yes, I think that is a good idea.
Okay.
Just to cut down on the need to message and things like that, at least
cool
for the easier stuff. All right. You have a live from?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Sure.
All right. Let's do this.
All right. Live from 4 separate vocal minority bunkers, it's the Vocal Minority Podcast.
Voice.
All right. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Vocal Minority Podcast. The podcast that hopes you had a good civic holiday and celebrated whichever version of it appeals to you most. Oh, and that of course you were totally enthralled by the All-Star game. I know you all were. On this week's show, we look back at a disappointing draw in DC, talk VAR, look ahead to this weekend's match against the Timbers, and more. And now to this week's panel. His loyalty to FC Dallas might be starting to waver. It's Mark Hinckley.
Yeehaw.
Aww. Mark, if you were here, I would give you a hug.
You know,
or at least a comforting pat on the shoulder.
It's fine.
You're like one of those broke-back cowboys.
Anyway. Kind of, sort of. Except I want to quit this, so
there you go.
Yeah.
He's distraught over missing Ziggy's return. Welcome to Tony Walsh.
This virtual hummus sucks.
What, you didn't each make your own snacks? You just really don't eat on podcast days if I'm not around.
I got beer. Yeah,
me too.
I cannot have much more responsibility than that, I don't think.
Fair.
All right. Well, he thinks Drew Moore needs to be meaner. To ball kids, that is. He is Duncan Fletcher.
Low. Can you hear me properly? Yeah, I kid.
God, Duncan's stuttering.
Oh, God.
This is what the Yorkshire moon landings sound like.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen that Yorkshire's trying to set itself up with a football team?
No.
Yeah. There's some kind of confederation of independent football associations for regions that, like Catalonia, for example, that want to have their own team but can't be like a proper nation. And Yorkshire's decided that it's going to get itself a team.
Is it?
Yeah, was it?
Oh my God, the Yorkshire versus Catalan derby is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
What the hell is it called? I know what you're talking about.
Yorksit.
Yes. Yeah, fuck
right.
you, Southerners.
This
We'll
is
play
going
as our
so
own
well.
team. Oh.
As for me, I'm still trying to find a way to bring Bill Hamid to Toronto. Sad Bill Hamid makes me sad. I am your host, Krista Knowles. To our show.
Ooh, that sounded like Toronto.
First, what?
Oh, dear. So it begins.
Oh, dear gods. All right. First up on this week's show is they look back at the DC United game on the weekend, and, well, that sucked. Kind of up there, I think, with TFC's worst games of the season. Not the worst, absolutely not the worst, but certainly, I think, top 5. Disastrous start to the game, as Toronto seemed to forget that they're actually a good team that knows how to play defense and attack and do all sorts of fun things. They let DC come at them in waves. The predictable first goal was, well, predictable. Of course, we did get the comedy own goal, poor Bill Hamid, and the red card to DC, which did nothing other than let DC sit back and absorb whatever pressure throw at them for the rest of the game. So fun, except for not really at all. The game also saw the debut of Jan Vertonghen lookalike Nicholas Hassler. Seriously, he looks just like him. It is weird. Who didn't have the worst game?
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
He looks like him.
I knew a Tongan, but not. He was actually from Tonga.
Was his name Jan? Did everyone call him Jan the Tongan? That'd be kind of cool.
It's James. We just knew him as James.
Ah, not as good.
Oh,
Anyway.
Jimmy Tonga.
Yeah, pretty much.
Delicious.
He hated that.
Regardless, not the greatest game.
No.
Agree, disagree? General thoughts?
I would agree, yes. Whilst at the same time feeling a certain sense of vindication. There was a lot of talk from the optimistic side of the table last week that this would be some kind of walkover. We don't even need to start our good players. You know, this would be an absolute joke. And, it wasn't. DC are an actual professional football team. Who do you think it?
Who knew?
Yeah, overall, it wasn't good, really, was it? What's the opposite of a flat track bully? Because we're not that anymore. You know? Now we can beat the good teams and we're shit against the shit teams, which I guess in the grand scheme of things is more useful. But, that was all round meh.
A round pathway friendly person?
Curved tracked wimp.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Flat track softy.
Okay, but I'm going for the opposite of flat. So
that's true.
And I don't know what the opposite of track would be. So this metaphor sucks. Anyway,
move on.
Sorry, Mark. I completely missed what you just said.
I said, don't worry about it. This metaphor sucks.
Oh, okay. Damn it! I missed a good metaphor.
It was about Tongans.
Yeah.
Again? Yeah. Guys, lay off the Tongans.
Yeah, it was very Pacific of us. Thank you. Could be one of those nights, folks.
All right, well then, let's just roll right into this moment of the match.
Has to be the comedy on goal. For a variety of reasons, just comedy on goals are fun, especially the despairing run to after the ball. Oh, it's going to cross the line, but no, I can get it. I can still get it. Oh, I didn't. And then just like Bill Hamid, sad face is just wow. Bless him.
Sad.
The world's just not fair.
I think for me, it's not so much a singular moment, but kind of the last 5 to 10 minutes of seeing TFC try to scramble for something resembling offense, and it was just it kind of encapsulated everything in them through the whole previous 80 minutes and that last 10. It was just, very unusual to see. This year was harkened back to the golden age of the late 2000s. It was crappy, but
It was retro TFC night.
yeah, I guess so. Well, hey, it was the last visit to RFK Stadium. Got to treat the Raccoons to one last huzzah.
I'm gonna go with those first 7 minutes. It was kind of like when you go on vacation to a tropical place and the resort gets battered in the middle of the afternoon without warning for about, say 7 minutes. Then the skies clear up and you can go back out to the pool with your frozen margarita. Then you ask, what the hell was that all about? Only to find out later you conceded a goal to the last place team. Yeah, thanks.
Solid metaphor, Mark.
And that you didn't actually score a goal.
I know.
They scored it for you.
A more solid metaphor if that vacation spot was in Tonga.
Yes. Yes. Which their margaritas are different there, but I see where you're going.
They're bigger.
Yes, much bigger.
Mine is actually not the comedy own goal because, although tempting, mine is a ball kid interaction, the one with Seba, where the kid just throws it as far past Seba as he can. He makes like he's actually going to throw it back and then just pitches it onto the field like, yeah, fuck you. Go get the ball yourself, little man.
Yeah.
Because I'm about a foot taller than you anyway. It was hilarious.
Ball kids should pick on someone their own size.
Yeah. I like to think that this was some kind of ball kid union thing. And it's like, yeah, I heard you yelling at my friend over there, Drew Moore. Fuck you guys. I'm not going to help you out at all today. Ideally.
Which is funny because you know damn good and well Drew Moore would be the one that goes up to the bulk and, hey, fuck you guys. It's got to be somebody else in the team that goes up to do that. On behalf of my teammate, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
I realize it's difficult to pick a man in the match, and no, you can't have Opara.
Too bad.
Mark? No.
Too bad.
TFC player.
Too bad. Vasquez, fine. Even though Opara was better. Vasquez.
Of course Opara was better.
He had
Who's your man in the match?
I would go with Jared Jeffrey. He scored a goal for Toronto, so hey.
Come on!
Or was it Birnbaum, really, wasn't it? Jeffrey kicked it off Birnbaum, so Birnbaum's goal. So Birnbaum, yeah.
No.
Oh, if he gets Birnbaum, then I'm taking Opara.
There's no TFC players worth picking.
Pretty much. It was hard.
Fine, then I pick Bill Hamid.
Perfect.
Can I have Captain Ben Olsen?
Can't even follow. Master stroke. The general Ben Olsen.
You teach a man to fish, and he's Ben Olsen.
That's what I've heard. So I've heard. Muskie season, isn't it?
Yep.
All right. Vanny Tactics then. Contrary to what I and some others thought, other than Duncan, Vanny went full strength in the match against the woeful DC nil, or no longer nil. I shudder to think, actually, what the result would have been had he gone with what we were suggesting. Although maybe they would have tried harder. Who knows?
Yeah,
they probably wouldn't have conceded that goal.
Probably not.
They probably wouldn't have scored one, but they wouldn't have conceded one.
Good point. I thought the subs made sense. Although I thought it was hilarious. All the Canadians! And you get to play, and you get to play, and you get to play. But otherwise, it was just such a weird non-effort from them. I don't know. I can't explain it. Duncan, can you explain it?
Maybe. Someone else should first. I'm currently concentrating on trying not to sneeze.
Okay.
So,
I'll try.
There's a struggle.
Try, Tony.
Well, I actually genuinely have to think that even though they only played halves or less than, the All-Star game sapped the energy of the 3 best players.
Really?
Listen, it
Even
took
though they
away
had
their
3 days rest?
it took away their sharpness.
Or 2 days
It took
rest, I
away,
guess.
it took away their sharpness. Okay, okay, 2 days rest. They had to travel back and forth on pretty short notice. The whole hoopla around All-Star game, all the stuff you have to do before and after it. I'm not using it as an excuse. They played poorly. It's whatever. But there's something to be said about this sham of a game in the middle of a week in the middle of the season, and what it does when your 3 best players have to participate in it.
I can see where you're coming from. It's a valid point. I think it's a shit point. Nobody should be using it as an excuse.
No, I agree. I agree.
I've
No,
played 30 fucking minutes.
I agree, but
For
no, but it's
example.
not just that. It's like, so,
Sure.
a few days before, all the crap you have to go through around an All-Star game. It's not a regular fixture. You have to do all the silly crap that goes along with it, and it's just, it. I don't think that TFC had anything in them this match, no matter what. But that certainly didn't help.
Okay. But to play off of that, like, yes, our 3 best players weren't fantastic, but a lot of the trouble in the game started off with the defenders.
Yeah, but those 3 are game changers at their best.
True.
And none of them had any game changing ability in them.
Fair, they didn't have a hell of a lot to do.
Altidore was at least mixing things up a bit.
Mm.
I mean, what was strange about the game is that it kind of felt a little bit like the Colorado match, where things were happening but nothing was happening. Like, they had a lot of the possession in the second half, but for about the last half hour, last 40 minutes, nothing really happened. Like, absolutely nothing. They had control of the ball, but shots went wide, passes went out. Like, nothing.
So many giveaways.
Yeah, nothing to rack up the stats or pad the stats, but also too nothing to really threaten. Like, oh shit, that was close.
Oh.
Like, there were in the first 55, 60 minutes of the game for Hamid to deal with than there were in the last 40. It was just, I can't make head or tails of it either. It's bizarre.
I think
But
it
was
was
DC either.
It was a good advertisement for Stephen Badershaw, really, at both ends of the pitch. Because when you look at the start of the game, DC, they were going down their left wing a lot, and then Badershaw's quite good at getting forward, giving the team width and everything. Like Vasquez, there was some article came out. Vasquez was talking about, we just didn't. Everything was going through the middle. There wasn't really much happening out wide. Badershaw is one of the people that would be involved with that. So, I think Hassler, not great. And that was a problem. Fullbacks are important.
Go ahead.
Who, me?
Yes, person who
You can say my name.
Well, who else?
Tony has a point after Duncan. Tony?
Edit here. I
just read it. I just read the chat.
All right. We talked about this a few weeks ago, and the one fear one thing they have to shake out of the system is playing down to their opponents. This is not the first time recently they've played down to a club much lower than them in the table. It's something they gotta look to get over pretty quick, because it's the kind of match. Okay, not DC United likely, but if you're gonna finish high in the table and you get an early seed against a lower club, in the first round of the playoffs, it's a kind of banana skin that can really, hurt a team. So this not being up for an opponent who's right up against you, in the table is something, I think they gotta really address pretty quickly.
Fair point.
All right. A couple more things before we leave the DC game. Nicholas Hassler, just thought we would mention, first start finally for perhaps the second best player ever from Liechtenstein. We don't know.
His father was the best.
Apparently. I'm just assuming genetics works that way.
What was his father's fancy name again?
Oof. Mr.
What
Hustler.
was it?
I can't.
Yes,
Ross,
it was
whatever.
Mr.
It was hilarious.
Rainier?
Rainier, yes, that's it. Rainier Wolfcastle Hassler.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I've played Rainier Wolfcastle. Not a bad game.
All right, cool. Bit of a rocky start to the game for him, I know, but settled in to have an okay first start. Like, again, nobody covered themselves with glory really on this night. He wasn't standout. Oh my God, why is this Hassler kid on the field the whole time he was out there? But I don't think, nor was it like, aha, this is the heir apparent to Beta Shore that we have been waiting for, at least not right away. Again, first game, so who knows what he's going to be like in the future. Even with Beta apparently almost back.
Yeah, 2 weeks, apparently. Which is good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something for nothing. He's better than any dirty Luxembourgian that's ever played in the MLS.
Oh my God, I'm thinking the same thing.
Mm.
And Andorran.
And don't you get me started about those crappy Andorrans. I'm just about to go there.
San Marino?
What have they done?
Yeah. Who's coming out of there?
What talent.
Vatican City had that guy. He was good.
Huh. Yeah, that one guy was good.
Yeah. Great.
They made him Pope,
great crosses.
All right. The Ball Kids. So a fair amount actually was mentioned about them in the post game, which I thought was mildly excessive. Like, yes, it was kind of funny, but there was some going to suggest, the Ball Kids interfered in the game. And I was like, really? Like, this isn't CONCACAF. But my question is, did the Ball Kids at RFK Stadium, did they get their training was there like a CONCACAF Ball Kid camp? Or is this just really a new breed of cynical ball kids?
I'm not one to compare the RFK ball kids to Hitler Youth.
Go on.
Duncan?
Yeah, right with you. Yeah.
Although I do like the idea of the CONCACAF ball kids camp, where they're just like, 12-year-olds running around with bags of piss flying after them. It's pretty great. I think Drew Moore should just keep shouting at them in his like harsh Sunday school Christian ways. Tough love.
Give us the ball. No swearing. Just give us the ball.
Yeah.
Give us the ball. Oh, very nice.
Jesus is watching now. Give it.
Yeah.
I think basically these people have obviously got some valuable lessons from Jimmy Hill. Sort of famously go back to like 1990, 91, something like that. Back when Liverpool were really good and Blackburn weren't, and there was an FA Cup game and Blackburn were nearly beating Liverpool. It was right there in injury time, and the ball kid just gave the ball right to a Liverpool player, and then Liverpool scored a goal right at the end of injury time. And Jimmy Hill went on national TV and kind of shat on the ball kid, saying, "Yeah, you were doing your job too well. You shouldn't have been throwing the ball to him." So, I think that's supposed to be where this all comes from, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, was there a bit of gamesmanship? Sure, whatever. But I'm sure it's also this isn't the first time this season that'll happen, and it probably isn't the first time this weekend that it happened. Am I cool with it? No, of course not. But I mean, if this is truly an epidemic problem, maybe we should consider not having underage volunteers to do such a critical task. Like seriously, what did you want to happen? Honestly.
Yeah, we
I want competent 7-year-olds. God damn it!
No,
yeah.
The referees went professional. Maybe it's time to make the ball people professional.
Yeah. Ball handlers.
BPU.
Yeah.
I was just going to say the BPU. Yeah.
Ball handler.
What other sport uses child labor in such an integral part of the match? Well, tennis. Yeah.
Baseball. Bat boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the ball kids on the line.
The bat boy, they're for their own team, so.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
So many of them. Good point, Tony.
That was the question. That was the answer I was looking for. Congrats, everyone.
Yeah, we're doing good work here, guys.
Yeah,
We really are. We're
Okay.
educated.
it was an open question. I wanted you to identify the other sports that use children. Thank you.
All right, everyone get their quote sheets up. It's that time.
Well, that was an abrupt ending. Okay.
We ended on child labor, the way it should be.
Yeah.
That's a strong ending, I think.
Fuck the kids.
Whoa.
Stronger ending.
Whoa.
Are we still? We're still talking about the player from Vatican City?
Oh, come on.
Oh.
Auga.
Get Danny or Alfie to throw something at you for me, would you? All right. Where's my intro here? All right, everyone ready? Everyone have quotes and things? Oh, wait, Mark, you said we have to do the translation things one at a time?
Yeah, so just do once the non-English is done, then just follow it up with the English.
All right.
Am I excessively louder when I'm bending forward like this so I can scroll down this other document? Or is it
excessively attractive?
No, thank you, Tony.
No, it doesn't sound any more louder or not.
No, that doesn't sound creepy at all. No wonder he doesn't have his video on. I don't even want to know.
What is he
doing?
I really don't want to know.
What is he doing behind that little Actra finger spinner thing?
That's fun. That's true. It is a fidget spinner. Amazing.
Fidget spinner.
Actra fidget spinner.
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
I smell a rebrand.
Me too.
How to get kids involved in Canadian cinema. Hey kid, want a fidget spinner? Lure them into the building. All right. Moving on.
That's when they typecasted me.
Okay. With the All-Star game finally out of the way, the league got back down to the business of, playing games that matter. Or, will matter in like 2 months or something. And here to tell us all about the weekend that was in MLS is Duncan Fletcher with this week's MLS wins and losses. Duncan.
Thank you, Kristen.
You're welcome.
You can hang out on my Google anytime.
Oh, yeah. We'll actually start with the All-Star game. Real Madrid won in a shootout, but Atlanta fans are the real winners. They get a legitimate chip on their shoulder against the whole thing within 2 minutes of their first game as Greg Garza got injured. But anyway, moving on to what counts with the weekend's action. Mark Hinckley's FC Dallas.
Yeah!
There we go.
Slow on the trigger.
No.
Anyway, fresh off a 4-0 defeat to Vancouver, went to Philly and lost 3-1. The first ever time they've lost to the Union. Ever.
Yeah.
Bastards. Max Cerruti had a goal disallowed by the video review process. And here's Union boss Jim Curtin with some thoughts on the VAR process.
The poor fourth official now has 9 things in his mouth and in his ears. So there's a lot to it. But the ultimate goal is to get the calls right. And it succeeded tonight. So that's what you want.
9 things in his mouth and in his ears.
Ew.
Magnificent.
Gross and inappropriate.
Oh, you level. What would the 9 thing equivalent of DP be?
An NP?
Non-OP?
Yeah.
Anyhow, moving on. Kyle Larin played a game in Canada and managed to score a goal.
What?
I know. Wonders will never cease.
Was it an own goal?
No, it wasn't actually. No. But that goal meant he became the youngest ever player to get to 40 MLS goals. But Montreal came back.
On a Tuesday with a club that begins with a vowel, aren't you missing more to your weird stats?
No, that's just a straight up youngest ever in MLS history.
Wow.
That sounded easy.
40 goals is a pretty random marker to be going with, but
Yeah.
Anyway, Montreal came back with 2 goals in the second half to win 2-1. Anthony Jackson-Hamel doing the super sub Lego thing for the 5th time this season. Minnesota, they had their second straight 4-0 game at home. Sadly, this time they were playing a competent team, and thus it was Seattle who got the 4-0 win, moving to 4th in the West. Good news for Minnesota, though, in that Adrian Heath managed to get a signing in before the window closed. He figured out when it was. That's nice.
I've got a little pen.
Yeah, and it was a big signing. Get ready for this. Goalie Alex Kapp, who was the 68th overall draft pick in 2017 from Atlanta. So that's a difference maker right there. Yeah.
I can't.
Way to
I
go,
have no
Adrian.
response. That's so massive. I don't even know what to do.
I thought
The
I saw
transfer
an
that
handicap.
shocked the world.
Were you at the pub?
No, Adrian's gone. We lost him. Google technology. Ridiculous. Anyway, Seattle, they also picked up Lamar Nagel from DC for a draft pick, which isn't a bad move. Moving on, Chicago, they won their 9th straight game at home, the longest streak in MLS since 2002, but longest ever within a single season. Yeah, impressive.
Okay.
That is.
Yes. They also scored 4 goals for the 3rd straight home game, thumping the T-Terrorists 4-1, helped by
Hey.
3 assists for Patrick Doody. Yeah,
A number 3.
yes. Colorado and Vancouver, they tied 2-2, leaving Colorado still bottom of the West, and Vancouver just outside the playoff spots for now. RSL and Houston, they're tied 0-0, leaving both teams with 5-game unbeaten streaks. RSL dominated play but couldn't break through, and Mike Peck's emotional status this week could probably be described as confused.
That was a bit ugly and boring the way they killed the game and sat back like that, but they did what they had to do to get the point. Hats off to them. Trey, take your hat off. Take your hat off, Trey. Trey, okay. I am happy the way that we're creating and playing right now, or do I wish we were playing like crap and scoring 3 or 4 goals a game? It's the yin and the yang right now. So I haven't decided which way I prefer. Trey, hand out the papers on which way to decide. Just hand them out, Trey. I enjoy the way we're playing, but we're just not finding the net. Trey, where's the net? Did you put the net back, Trey?
God damn that Trey.
My favorite. If we seriously consider doing another set of soccer cards, we need to get a picture of Trey. He's card number 1.
Oh my God, he so needs his own card.
He's my league MVP. That's
Yeah.
Apparently,
Apparently, this Trey guy is actually quite high up in the Salt Lake hierarchy. He's not just some flunky. He's like the head of communications or something. He's very high up apparently, which amuses me more. Houston, meanwhile, they've signed Philippe Senderos. Meh.
Yeah.
Have I heard that name before?
Used to play for Arsenal, Switzerland.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
He's got to be getting on 50 now, isn't he?
probably.
Okay. Great
Yeah.
signing, guys.
Yeah, he won't wilt in the heat of Houston. Oh, no.
Ooh, he'll be fine.
No.
He's my favorite kingdom in Game of Thrones.
Ooh.
Nice.
San Jose, meanwhile, they beat Columbus 2-1 to nudge ahead of Vancouver and into 6th place in the West. Columbus are also in 6th, and they've just signed Portuguese winger Pedro Santos to help out. Bless you. That means they now have 3 DPs for the first time ever, which is nice. We're all grown up now.
For that.
Well, aside from that time when Crew Cat got,
Right.
a little
Yes.
lucky.
Crew Cat's usually good for a DP.
At least 3.
Yes.
Unlike 9, like some refs.
Yes. Anyway, here is Pedro Santos, who has clearly set himself up for a big, big letdown.
1, 2, 3, Benfica Porto. Sempre foi sonho meu ter vindo aqui então. Quando me deram de opção de entrar na vida nos Estados Unidos, Miau. Pensai nisso duas vezes. Estou feliz porque minha família está aqui comigo. Portanto, fica 2, 3.
It's always been a dream of mine to come live over here. So when I was given the option to come live in the US, I didn't think about it twice. I'm happy because my family is here with me.
I like to think he was dreaming of palm trees and skyscrapers and all the hustle and bustle that foreigners associate with America. And he's signed with Columbus. So, yeah,
Hey,
well done, Pedro.
Randy Savage International Airport.
Mm-hmm.
True. It'll be an impressive start. At this point, he's
Yes.
still probably thinking good things, but give it time. He's going to regret this.
Once he leaves the airport, he's going to be so sad.
Yes, yeah. They had to do the press conference in the airport just so that he would still be all chipper and enthusiastic and liking Columbus.
Direct flights from an airport that has Ronaldo's face in a bust to an airport that has Randy Savage's face in a bust. Amazing.
Perfect. We move on to Sunday in Portland, and the Galaxy were in town. Jersey Jades had a goal waved off for a sneaky handball that the video refs caught. Portland went on to win 3-1 to move into 5th in the West, though tied on points with second place Houston. The Timbers set another record in this one. It's an exciting one. They have now scored in 11 straight games, the longest streak in MLS this season.
I thought you were going to say like on a Friday or
No.
night
Second half,
game.
only facing west by players wearing prime numbers. Like those stats guys work so hard to make it sound important.
Yes. New York, meanwhile, is still blue as the Red Bulls' winning streak came to a halt as a hat-trick from Davy Cottage beat 2 goals from Bradley Wright Phillips at legendary historic Yankee Stadium. Jesse Marsh really isn't happy with Baldomero Toledo.
I'll say this, McMahon. I haven't talked about the ref once. Not once this time this year. I'm not making excuses. I give New York City a lot of credit, okay? But I've been on my best behavior from referee perspective this year. It was an inside job. But this one was too much to swallow, McMahon. VAR can't correct the inability to see a game clearly and make all the little plays right. It can help with the big plays, but then we need refs to understand how to ref the rest of the game, Gorilla, because there's more to the game than just the moments that lead to goals. I thought the referee refed the score. All of a sudden, we started to get some calls when we went down a goal, Minnesota. But in the meantime, literally so many soft fouls going on for the McMahon, so many little things that they wind up getting an edge on.
It's just a conspiracy.
Truly.
It really is.
Really.
Finally, on Sunday, the Spokes versus the AU guys. And the Spokes were all set for the win until Jacob, the answer Peterson, scored the injury time equalizer against his old team.
What's the question?
Yeah, that's a good point. No celebrating from Peterson. All around heartwarming, really. This was his first game since March due to injury. Spokes, meanwhile, they're still unbeaten at home, but Peter Vermees couldn't give a shit about that right now.
It's not bittersweet. It's freaking bitter. We lost 2 points tonight. We had the game in hand. We gave away a ridiculous goal at the end, and we didn't close the game out. It's simple. It's not a good feeling.
Oh. He's not happy. It's the emotion. It really comes through.
I liked it when Shakespeare used to use the word freaking.
Yes.
It was in there.
So elegant.
In there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Othello.
Oh, he couldn't stop. Yeah. Anyway, Vermees and Tata Martino had a bit of an argument after the game, and Tata spilled the beans just what that was about exactly. Oh, I'm doing Spanish, aren't I?
Hola.
Okay. Dije que Kansas City era un equipo muy bueno y dijo que Atlanta era un muy bien equipo.
I said Kansas City was a very good team, and he said Atlanta was a very good team.
How polite. I'm not entirely sure I believe him.
Probably
He
not.
might be lying to us. It's disappointing, really.
Suspicious
Anyway,
translation.
talking about Atlanta, they've signed Bobby Boswell from DC. And talking of signing people, all signs also point to Carlos Vela being signed by LAFC, Mexican International and all that, as the transfer window creeps towards its close. Anyway, that would be your MLS wins and losses for the week. Back to you, Kristen.
Thanks, Duncan.
I can see you in your little box.
Yeah.
That Carlos player, he did sign, and he even did the same B-boy stance reveal like Bradley did.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's actually
seriously?
happened.
Yeah,
Excellent.
So that'll be their shtick now.
better be. If they're doing 2 in a row, everybody gets revealed like that.
I'm back in one minute.
It's not right until you see them in the baseball cap and everything. It won't be about holding up a shirt anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Right.
Her little box is empty.
Oh,
This is what it was like on Hollywood Squares.
So how was everyone's weekend?
Fine. Yours?
Good. Busy.
Yeah.
Too busy.
Why? What were you doing?
We just had friends over on Saturday and then went out with friends on Sunday, then had family over on Monday, and it's just it's all too much, really.
If they were real friends, they would have let you have a weekend.
That's a very good point.
tell me about it.
Yes. Talking of weekends, though, Mark, what's the deal with the whole foot golf thing?
That's as much as I've got because I know Mary's been the conductor of such a thing. It's up in Newmarket, I believe. The Cardinal Golf Club or something like that. And then we go for Mexican food afterwards. From what I understand, there's 5 or 6 people so far. There's still people who may or may not say yay or nay to it, so we'll see. But it's a good time. Just I believe they've got like golf. Dress code is in effect because it's not a public course necessarily, but like you can wear indoor soccer shoes or running shoes. It's fine.
Cool.
And
Well, that's right. I wore a dress last year, didn't I?
Got a top hat and tails kind of thing.
You can, as long as it doesn't affect your kicking. You can fancy the shit out of it as you please.
What about like a Fuzzy Zeller Knickerbockers but a Dukla Prague jersey?
I'll let you start -3. How about that? You're gonna go that fancy. You should be rewarded for fancy. I'm just saying. Like I'm not asking for for fancy dress, but goddamn, you may as well. You may as well be going for.
What about a
best
Tigres?
dress.
What about Tigres jersey, but on the name the back is Woods?
Funny. I like it. That's good. Or whatever Woods is in Spanish.
Nah, I don't know. Our ball? I don't know.
Yeah,
Duncan,
probably.
you speak Spanish.
Our ball would be tree. Woods. Don't know. I do not know the name for forest. It's disappointing, really. Yeah.
All right, everyone good to go? basically.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
Can't you see by my orange logo?
Yes, I can tell.
That's the international
looks- it
symbol of
looks-
preparation.
That's
to have a
me
white one.
laying in the middle.
Okay. So, as was mentioned throughout wins and losses a little bit, video assist referee, week 1. So, the first weekend of the end of football as we know it,
Ooh.
as video review came to town. They seem to be calling it video review a lot, so we'll just stick with that. What was that?
The fuck?
Tony, what are you doing?
What? I didn't do anything. What are you talking about?
Put in your pants.
What? I didn't even hear anything.
Are you serious?
Holy
I'm
shit.
serious.
Well, I hope it comes out in the playback.
Oh my god.
What was it? What did it sound like?
Because you know what? That's our new bitchy blank right there. What the fuck was that?
What's that
Just because I
sound?
don't have video doesn't mean I made the noise.
You're the only one that didn't seem surprised by the noise.
What was the
Yeah.
noise? Honestly, I didn't hear a thing. I did put my phone
It
down.
sounded like an awkward slurping noise, at least through my
Yes.
headphones. I don't know if
Really?
it was-
Oh, that wasn't me, honestly.
like
Interesting.
you drop jelly on your phone and you just fucking full on tongue the shit out of that thing to make sure you got all the jelly.
I kind of wish it was me.
Wow. Okay.
No
Okay,
video,
then.
no evidence. God damn it.
That's right.
All right.
I was licking my fidget spinner. Kristen?
Moving on. So a video review was only used to any effect really in 2 games: in the Union versus Mark Hinckley's FC Dallas, and LA Galaxy versus the Timbers.
Pew pew.
So, yeah, in the first game, as mentioned, was the callback on Rudy's goal. And the LA Galaxy game was De La Garza, right?
I believe so.
Jardez.
Oh, Jardis, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
From all accounts, both calls were correct and didn't take up too much of the time. Again, I didn't see either game, so I can't really say. I'm just going on what I read afterwards or what I saw on Twitter. From what little happened on the weekend, again, it's the first weekend, and I feel like they're being very, like they're using it, but they're being cautious as all hell. It didn't seem like any games were vastly interfered with. And yeah, I don't feel like either of the decisions or any decisions really stood out as, what the hell? The one thing I will say is that I noticed, or what I felt watching the TFC DCU game, other than the crap play, was I thought it was being reffed really crisply. Like, I thought Chapman and the crew seemed incredibly on top of all the calls and were really very decisive in their decision making. And it stood out enough to me that I was thinking, they really don't want to use the replay, or they're trying to, who knows, maybe this will up the level of refereeing because they don't want to use the VAR. I don't know.
They figured out, oh, Howard's watching. So
Yes,
they have to
exactly.
be on the best behavior now. Yeah.
Anyone else thoughts? Just me?
I don't think it was interfered with, but I'm never going to be for it. I'm still totally against it, except for the goal line technology. I'll never be for it. It's just it's too antiseptic. Like, you know, VAR, you know, takes away the hand of God, the 1966 final, you know, Vinnie Jones's career. It's you know, there's no humanity to it. It's just, I don't know. It's all the best talking points of football have been like, you know, those things where you need to argue those things and that have had a human element. I don't know. I'll never be behind it fully.
2 points. One, what the hell are you suggesting about the 1966 World Cup final?
Well,
Tom?
no, I'm saying it would have been proven correct, and there would have been that it would have been proven obviously as a goal. What do you think I'm saying?
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
I'm saying the Germans would have had nothing to talk about for years. But
True.
no, it's what I mean. These are the great moments of football that were all had to be decided by a human on the spot, and it's an element of the game. And you take that away, and it just becomes, like I said, an antiseptic thing. Very when there's nothing. What are we going to talk about afterwards? Oh, that I don't know how we used that VAR moment. Ugh, there's a snoozer.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
second point I had. Sorry, Mark.
No, go ahead.
The second point there, just watching the LA game after the Jardez goal, basically the celebrations and everything just happened, and all the players had got back to the center circle waiting to kick off before the ref made the decision to signal, yeah, I'm going to look at this for video review. So, I mean, I don't know, I don't like that side of it, really. That, how long can you celebrate a goal? How long do you have to wait before you can actually acknowledge, hooray, it was a goal? That's the part of it that I don't particularly like. But,
I have a follow-up to Duncan's follow-up.
oh,
If someone scored a goal, took off their shirt celebrating, got a yellow card for that, and then the goal was called back because of that, would the yellow card then be rescinded because the goal didn't actually exist in the universe?
I think Eric Hasley got a second yellow card for taking his shirt off after a goal that was disallowed for offside or something. So I think the yellow card would still stand.
There you go.
I believe it would still stand.
Well, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Because you're not supposed to take your shot off regardless if it's a goal happened or not. So
Yes.
But you're talking about the non-existent past. We're getting into Stephen Hawking shit right now.
Are we?
Yeah.
I'm okay with the VAR stuff so far because for all intents and purposes they got it done fairly quickly, fairly efficiently. I'm still going to be weary about that moment when they decide to throw a Budweiser ad. And when they throw the Budweiser ad, then it needs to fucking go. Because now that it's not about the integrity of the game, it's about milking a buck. And as far as the talking points of human error and all that, those were shit. Like the hand of God was so shit.
Yeah, but it's talked about though. Like it's.
I know, but
But we want to think
but it was talked about because he got away with
talk
it.
about it.
Yeah, but it's a huge part of the history of the sport, in like the modern history of the sport. These are things like, do you want everything so, like it's straight out of a video game, a laboratory, so everything's nice and clean cut, and there's absolutely no question about what's going on?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. I guess it's personal opinion.
Yeah, because to me, if you're going to do something subversive in the game, handball, throw an extra person on the pitch, whatever the case may be, that because there are laws of the game, you should not get away with it. And just because you get away with it, that's not cool. That's against the spirit of the game. It's cheating for what it is, but at the same time, it's like I don't feel any nostalgia for the hand of God because it's a mockery. The whole thing.
But isn't that what makes
the mockery?
Isn't that what makes the roar of the crowd happen though? The injustice if it happens against you, otherwise that's taken away. It's like this fiery feeling, and it's like, oh, don't worry, they'll just go to the video and it'll all be fixed.
No, but I don't. But that okay. But like from this weekend's games, even from the TFC game, not everyone thought that was a red card on the tackle on Chris Mavinga. It clearly was, although there are those who would argue it. They didn't use the video assist referee. That Chapman made the decision on his own. Watching that game, and watching what little games I saw some games on Sunday. There was still, people up in the ref's face. There was still calls from the crowd. There was still not necessarily that kind of controversy, but it's not like everything has suddenly been sucked out of the game. The referees are still there. They're still making decisions. Not every decision is it's not being reffed from on high.
Well, okay. Well, throw in disco on top of that, who can retroactively penalize. It's just becoming, I don't know. To me, it's too much after the thought. It's a a game played by humans, refereed by humans. It's always been that way, and that's the way I like it.
I was gonna say, do you have a cloud to shake your fist at right now, old man?
I have a video of one.
Good.
Good enough.
All right. Well,
was that decision by the Jardez one and the whole thing, about a couple of minutes all in all there, was that in any way explained to the people in attendance at Portland? Or were they just left to just give a, what happened? I don't know. And,
Probably not.
presumably they check Twitter and find out that way. But
they all got a free donut and whiskey and beard break.
Nice.
Totally worth going to the game.
Well, I guess we will. I don't know, not eagerly, but wait and see for it to happen the first time at a TFC game, right? Or who knows? Maybe it'll happen this weekend, and we'll get to witness it firsthand and see what goes on.
Did a dream.
Again,
I think live. I think live, and we've touched on this before. It's a crappy thing too for the live experience. Like, especially the ones that like Duncan mentioned that are taking way too long after the fact. Like it's such a dulling of the senses when of like the flow of supporting. It's just
sure, but let's wait and see it happen.
No, I want to make a snap decision right now based on no facts.
You go right ahead. That is your right as an unreasonable human. That's fine.
I agree.
Okay, good.
I say the next game we all make a point of when, say, TFC score a goal, don't celebrate at all, and it's not until the ref blows the whistle and they actually kick off again that it's confirmed that it's a goal. At that point,
you're missing a golden opportunity for us to sing a classic '80s tune, which is "Video Killed the Radio Star." Like anytime that we can bring that back and make it relevant, it'll be awesome.
Well, if Video Killed the Referee, there's a bunch that are still alive right now that I wouldn't miss too much. So not quite perfect, but I see where you're going.
All right. Before we get into our preview of this weekend's game against the Timbers, a couple things. Did anyone watch 21 Thunder yet? Or still just me?
I watched the first episode. I did not watch the second one because it still conflicts with my other favorite soap opera. So
I understand.
Which was in Toronto yesterday and tonight as of recording. So, but yeah, I did watch the first episode. I've Duncan, Tony, have you guys watched it at all yet?
No.
I caught maybe 2 minutes of yesterday's episode. At least I think I did, because the bits that I saw were nothing to do with soccer and seemed to involve cunnilingus. So
I'm intrigued.
Okay.
Oh right, yeah, with the
right show.
What's his name? Snacks and his girlfriend in the car. Yeah.
What? Had a snack of his girlfriend in the car.
No, that's the guy's nickname. It's Snacks.
Oh.
Hey-o.
But well, that's raunchy.
Yeah, so I can honestly say after one episode, aside from the seemingly way over dramatic bullshit storyline of the main character, I really liked everything else. Like everything else was plausible. The introduction of new characters, signing players, the ship that goes behind the scenes that they've teased. I could see why people are digging it, and I will be watching it.
Cool.
Until it drives me nuts.
I will say, without giving spoilers, really, one, you two that aren't watching it at all, get watching. You should.
No, I'm waiting for the Real Housewives of the Rochester Raging Rhinos.
There.
Just because it's Canadian television doesn't mean it's bad. I know you hate it because that's where you work, but deal with it. The second episode, they start getting into digging deeper into the whole match fixing thing, which is really interesting, and I really like that they're going for that they're not shying away from it as a storyline, and especially as it plays out into lesser known leagues. It's really interesting.
Are they going to play a friendly against the Bosnian White Beagles?
Yes, Tony, that's episode 3.
I do like that they chose the name Thunder, a particularly crappy Montreal-esque roller derby soccer name. Well done.
True.
Right.
Also, too, of the clip I saw, the goalkeeper was not wearing a kit that clashed well enough with his outfield players to be regulation. So
The goalkeeper kit would buy. I liked it.
Yeah.
but it was too close to the too close in color to the outfield players, though.
I don't know what you saw, but the one I saw, the goalkeeper was wearing pink with blue trim.
What do I
and
know?
The rest of the team was wearing blue. So, I from a kit standpoint, the outfield players, whatever. But the goalkeeper kits,
I know, they're
it's
pretty
nice. It's nice fun. Nice outfit. Good job.
The other thing, just a quick mention of someone who's trying to horn in on our territory. The newest podcast on the block.
Ooh.
Everyone's favorite journalist,
Duncan's not allowed to listen.
Kurt Larson, is launching a podcast. Tomorrow, I believe, is the first episode. He was asking people for questions today. It's mostly about TFC and Canadian soccer and, other things. And then said there will be, quote unquote, controversial guests or something like that. I know. So get ready, everyone.
The captain of the North Korean soccer team. So hot right
now.
now.
If I could make up a Korean name, I so would have blurted it out, but I couldn't think of it.
Come on, we're good at that.
I know. I just couldn't commit to it.
Oh, come on, it's Moon Sun.
Anyway.
All right.
Well, best of luck to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm still trying to think who a controversial guest might be.
He talks to
That's
himself.
what he said. He said controversial, didn't he? Hold on.
Paul Mariner, the Preki. He's just going to bring back Jermaine Defoe.
Miguel Acebal.
Oh, maybe.
Oh my God.
Julian B. Guzman. Some of the biggest criminal minds ever surrounded by TFC.
Mose Johnson.
Sulzma.
Oh.
Yeah.
Martin Sarich.
Oh, that guy's the worst.
Finally, John Carver's going to tell his story about why he quit.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, let's see here. Hold on. Here's being slow.
Tom Anselmi. Won't love him.
Bitchies 1 through 4.
Oh, but not 5. Fuck
No.
Bitchy 5.
5 was lame.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the one with the drug problem,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Opioids.
Too much hawk dip or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Not controversial guests, opinionated guests.
Oh.
Oh.
Opinionated.
Okay.
Oh, so
Yes, the Kurt
Like
Larson
anybody.
podcast, and apparently that's the name.
And-
Begins this week, talking TFC Canadian soccer with some non-sport banter sprinkled in.
Bants.
Opinionated guests.
Hashtag Bants.
Non-sports banter. I imagine Kurt Larson's pro-Trump, isn't he? I could see that.
I would imagine so. I have difficulty imagining anything else when it comes to Kurt.
Even if he's not in real life, he will be on that show.
Yeah, fair enough,
On the
yes.
show, yeah, that's true. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
All right. So I just thought, in case not everyone was up on our newest
I have
podcasty
not
competition.
heard that news. No, that news did not make it into my Twitter feed.
I wonder why.
Duncan will be
all
banned on
tune-
SoundCloud. He won't be allowed on. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll all tune into Sun TV tomorrow.
rest in peace.
All right. So to end our show is, of course, a look ahead to this weekend's home match. This Saturday, TFC return to BMO to take on the owners of what I think are the best kits in MLS. Mark, you
I
can fight
thought you were going to say Lonely Hearts.
No. Yes, doesn't need that much of a revival. The Hipsters come to Toronto on the heels of their 3-1 trouncing of the Galaxy and with one of the league's top goal scorers. So Diego Valeri has a goal in each of their last 2 games. Fernando Adi is also right up there. He's got 9 goals. Valeri has 12. So the Timbers score a lot of goals, but they let in almost as many as they score. So they've scored 42 on the year, but they've conceded 39. It's not exactly a defensive powerhouse.
No.
The road form it's okay. Like, they're not one of the worst teams on the road. They're certainly not one of the best. They're just, middle of the ground. So nothing really to take advantage of in that sense.
Shit. Oh, we're back, kind of. Hello? That was probably
What?
great.
We didn't think you were gone.
Hi.
What's wrong?
Everyone just froze on my screen for like 15 seconds, and apparently you guys couldn't hear me either. So anyway,
Oh,
that's not good TV.
well, that's not good.
No.
You should probably start again at some point.
Start back from the 21 Thunder stuff.
Oh, God. Good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Mark, should I do the intro again?
Huh?
Should I do the intro again? What is happening?
I heard your entire thing. I don't know what Duncan threw in. So sure, start the segment over again.
Damn it.
Outtake.
Okay. So to finish off this week's show is a look ahead to the weekend's home match against the Timbers. So this Saturday, TFC returned to BMO Field to take on the owners of what I think are the best kits in MLS. The Hipsters come to Toronto on the heels of their 3-1 trouncing of the Galaxy, and they have with them one of the league's top scorers, Diego Valeri, and he has scored a goal in each of their last 2 games. They also have Fernando Adi, who's got 9 goals. Valeri has 12. So they're not exactly lacking in the goal-scoring department. So they score a lot of goals. In fact, they've scored 42 so far this year, same as TFC. But they've let in almost as many as they score. They've conceded 39. Not exactly defensive powerhouses, or powerhouse, since I don't think they're plural. The road form is okay. Nothing really to write home about. It's not spectacular, but they're also not horrid, so can't really take advantage of much there. They're having a decent season, mainly on the strength, I think, of all those goals and probably some luck. So they're just above the red line in the Western Conference, and have won 2 of their last 3 games, haven't lost in 3, so not blazing form, but on a bit of an uptick perhaps. I can't remember what TFC's record against the Timbers really is like. We don't play them that often because it's a Western team. So, anyone have any fond Portland memories other than the freezing cold home opener that one time?
I remember that time in 2014. Yeah, we were 2-0 down, and then we came back and scored 3 goals and late in the second half, and
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing, and wow, all that sort of thing. Yeah, I feel like we usually do quite well against Portland. I'm relatively confident.
Excellent.
It's a
Yeah, that's a good memory to have.
They're a funny team. I feel like we obviously play in the same league, but it seems like we see them so rarely. It's like we exist on different planes.
Mm.
Well, I think they were one of the teams that we got caught in that loop when we were supposed to be alternating conferences, home and away, where we just kept playing them away, away, away. So for 3 years, I think we played Portland. Oh, no, because it was 2014. But it could have been before that. I don't know. There was like a loop where instead of getting a home game, there was 3, maybe 4 of the Western teams that we didn't see for at least 2 years because of weird MLS scheduling.
They didn't want to face Javier Martina again.
That's right.
Who would?
Bruce. Scared. That's what they were.
Those gloves were menacing, let me tell you.
Mhm.
All right. Player to watch for this one.
I will skip the obvious. I'm going to go with Liam Ridgewell.
Good call.
You were talking about how Portland have been crap defensively and everything, and a big part of that is the fact that Liam Ridgewell's missed pretty much the entire season.
Yep.
But he came back in their last game, and so he's now there, and so they may now have defensive stability. So, that's maybe something to be looking out for. But still, it's Liam Ridgewell. He's not that good, so whatever.
Darren Maddox, because it's weird.
It is.
Is he still with Portland?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough, yeah.
Go figure. I'm going to also skip the obvious and go with Vytautas Andriuskaitis. Oh, God, I screwed up his last name. Vytautas. He's a Lithuanian guy. You probably hadn't heard of him. Yeah, he's only got about 15 appearances for them since joining him last year. But really, I just wanted to find a reason to say his name out loud because it's really Diego Valeri. But
I think that's a guy talking about, Portland have got a good kit. Get a Portland kit. Get that guy's name on the back. Go.
Oh, you're getting your money. Yeah, let's see. That's a good 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a 15-letter name. They losing money on your ass. Yeah, do it. Nice. Number five in your sheet. Number 1 in your heart.
I will also skip the obvious and go with the second most obvious, which is Fernando Adi, who was very hot to start the season, kind of cooled off a little bit, but has been more involved of late and isn't as silky a playmaker as Valeri, but scores some ridiculously nice goals from all over the pitch. So he's a little bit worrisome in my book.
Fair.
All right. Vanny Tactics. I don't think there's any question that he'll throw full strength lineup out there.
Mm-hmm. No reason to change it, really. Go for the win.
But does Hassler play again, or does Ulseth get another go, or does he do something weird and put Cooper out there or something stupid?
I could see them potentially putting Raheem Edwards out there, or maybe like moving Morrow out to the right, Edwards on the left. But my guess would be Hassler again.
Reasonable.
I don't see any change. The side that was kind of unleashed on DC United just completely misfired. And I don't know. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy to do a hairdryer treatment, but that would be a pretty good time to start one. So, I think they're looking for redemption because they know they should have done a hell of a lot better than what they did. So I expect to see the identical 11.
Agreed. I think so. Just with maybe a strong emphasis to them to completely go for it, to play hard and really. They need a win. They can't keep stuttering, otherwise it's going to start turning into mild panic that we're in the midst of another summer swoon. So I think
pull somebody out.
It's never too soon, my friend. Never too soon.
Well, and plus next week they're going into Chicago and Chicago on their ridiculously annoying and apparently record-setting run of good form. So have to go in there with some momentum.
You know what Sylvester Stallone used to say? Go for it.
Did he?
Yeah, I think it was.
Sure.
I think it was the tagline for Rocky V.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
And he also used to sign autographs. Say Sylvester Stallone. Go for it.
What?
Yeah, it's a true story.
You have a Stallone autograph, I take it?
I don't have one. No, it's a story I read.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
It was Mike D of the Beastie Boys, actually, who has an autograph from Sylvester Stallone. It says, Sylvester Stallone, go for it.
Since we are playing Portland, and many of us have played the beloved game, the Oregon Trail, what's a TFC version of the Oregon Trail game?
The Dufferin bus.
Explain.
It's exactly the same, except you're on the Dufferin bus.
But you eventually die of dysentery anyway.
Disinterest.
So is that the what's the worst death for your game?
Disinterest.
It's pretty good.
Duncan?
I got it's some kind of like TFC coaching game. You start off, you're the TFC coach. How long can you get? How long can you get? Oh, you lost, didn't you? Greg Vanny's currently doing very, very well. He's pretty much all the way to Oregon nearly.
Hasn't lost any axles or anything like that. Yeah, it's good. Marcus?
So I had to do a little bit of history digging up, and aside from the obvious, which was a game called the Yukon Trail, which was actually developed by the people who made the Oregon Trail, so that was shit. I went with GV's Quest for Tires because BC's Quest for Tires was an old video game and it was developed in Canada. So GV would be Greg Vanny. And I think it would be just as clunky of a game. Maybe it's frustrating, but as memorable, but not enough to put it on a scarf to raise funds for charity.
I owned that on ColecoVision.
I had a neighbor who owned that on ColecoVision.
Okay.
Awesome. That's awesome. Mine was sort of similar to Tony's, except for further out of town fans coming in on the DVP. So, and because we know that trip takes at least 6 months. And death by boredom because you haven't moved in hours and hours and hours, basically.
Although along those lines, with Oregon Trail, you could Orago train. Huh? That's one for Mark.
Oh!
All right, predictions.
A Poland shit.
That's not a prediction. That's a question.
That was just a question to the universe.
I presume someone would have quickly answered no, in which case my prediction is TFC will do okay. They will win 3-1.
Portland's effectively a 500 club.
Yeah, so
9 wins, 8 losses, 7 draws.
So a half-assed performance.
So TFC win.
I think they're going to break out in this one. I don't know why. Maybe something big. A 3-0.
Like a beard rash?
Yeah.
Is this another Oregon Trail thing? You break out in some kind of rash?
I don't think so.
No.
But we are getting free smallpox blankets from Continental Tires for the first 10,000.
Oh,
Getting there early. I collect all the pox. I got the large pox and the medium pox, but I don't have the small ones yet.
The funnel cakes.
2-0.
The funnel cakes van is going to be a
Can we
covered
get the
wagon.
bonus stars too from the casino?
Yeah. 2-0 to
That's
Toronto.
Mark.
Yeah, thank you.
2-1 Toronto.
Right.
A little less optimistic, but still a win. Yay, wins all around. Look at us. Optimistic
Chris is
podcast.
playing the Duncan card.
Optimism.
We have died of optimism.
Yes.
Over and over and over again, yes.
Mhm.
You finished second in Seattle. Aww.
Upside down horse, like an evening with Maxim Yusinov.
Oh, that's birthday party in Russia.
All right, well, that is our show for this week. Join us next week.
I just hope Kurt Larson gets Maxim Yusinov on as a guest. We can actually clear up this whole horse punching controversy once and for all.
True, yes. Agreed. Join us next week when we look back at the Vocal Minority Cruise annual outing for my birthday. Talk about who triumphed at foot golf the next day. And, we'll talk about TFC stuff at some point, I'm sure. I have been joined by the entire Vocal Minority panel, although everyone ensconced in their own homes. This is very odd. Usually across the table from me on the Twitter is at Duncan D. Fletcher, Mr. Duncan Fletcher.
I thought you were talking about a Vocal Minority Cruise. That's No offense to the foot golf, but that sounded better.
If Mark would just win the 50-50, then yeah, we would go on a vocal minority cruise.
Uh-huh.
Speaking
Come on,
of,
Mark. Come
to
on,
be
Mark.
found on the tweet machine at KitNerdMark with a K, not a Q, Mr. Mark Hinkley.
You should be thankful how little cleanup you have to do this week. And think of all the hummus that didn't hit your table. Huh? I think this is a plus.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Intriguing. On the web, but not the entire internet, at Malarkey FC, Mr. Tony Walsh.
What does this button do?
No!
As for me, you can find me on the internet. Yes, the entire internet. I've been your host, Kristen Knowles at KZ Knowles. And until next week, Toronto, get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this should be interesting.
Yeah, good luck, Mark.
Yeah, good luck to me.
Speaking of Saturday, everyone's still yes.
So what's
Yarp.
the plan? Pre-game,
Yeah.
post-game.
We're gonna go drink and eat things after the game.
Buzz is getting anxious about
Okay.
the lack of a plan. What's the proper plan?
Well, proper plan. I'm thinking the Foggy Dew this time, just because I feel like slogging all the way to Finn McCool's is a bit
Absolutely.
far.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've gone
These might be in town.
we've gone to the Foggy Dew before for the birthday outing and
Yeah,
had
it's
good
fine.
times.
Yeah.
I'll give them a shout, see if we can do a reservation. If not,
Is it supposed to be nice weather-wise?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, they got a nice patio if it's nice out. So.
Yeah, well, we've done that more than once.
Yeah.
Will won't be coming this year. He has a family thing,
Mm.
Yeah.
so that's a bit weird.
I know that.
It's weird not to have Will.
It's weird that he's got family.
Would
Y'all
James
thinking it.
be,
Well-
would James be joining us eventually once he's done his writing duties?
I've told him, I've explained what is occurring, so I expect him to join us. I will message him the details so he knows where to find us. Especially
Will
since
he have some kind of Tupperware of pulled pork?
Mhm.
Good question. Especially since he has less to do after the games now, so he's not there until the wee hours, and it's a slightly earlier game, so yeah, hopefully I expect to see him there. Yeah, and then those of us that are doing the foot golf thing, we'll sort that out. Duncan, you said Roz isn't going to foot golf,
No,
but might.
no. And presumably this Mexican place, I kind of looked things up on the internet, the restaurant is also in Newmarket-ish.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, then I can confirm Roz will be happy to buy you a drink for your birthday on Saturday, but will not be joining on Sunday.
Unnecessary but appreciated. Thank you.
So
Newmarket,
Duncan,
by the way. Yes,
can I get a ride with you then,
that probably makes sense, yes.
so that Mark and Mary don't have to swoop in and grab us? I guess
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I
we
would
can
certainly close
discuss.
it. Yeah.
Okay. So Foggy Dew, if I call them and say make a reservation, what do you think, for 9?
What time's the match? 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 will be
I imagine
Fair.
we could get there for 8:30, couldn't we?
probably, yeah.
Is this one
Okay.
of those 6 o'clock kickoffs that's actually 6:30?
Probably 6:15.
Probably
Mhm.
6:15. That's why I was thinking 9, just to give us time to get out of the stadium and all that jazz. I know it's not that far a walk. What is it? 15, 20 minutes?
Nah, it's closer to 20. If it's after match, by the time you get through the crowds and stuff.
Let's say 9 then, just to be on the SAF side and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then next week, likely recording on Tuesday. Just because I'm not getting, I have a later shift on Monday next week, so I won't get home until 7-ish.
That
Um,
should be fair.
Yeah, sounds good.
Just putting it out there
Mhm.
so that everyone is somewhat in the loop, so to speak. I think that's everything. Any other random bits of housekeeping?
I got nothing. I'm
I'm
gonna
done,
stop
so.
recording.